In this MMS Tech Byte, I will be going over how to set up the biographical area in the parent and student portals. This is the second of 6 Tech Bytes on this setup operation. The setup is done in MMS Generations. We're going to go to our School Management Jobs, Operations, and Set Up Parent-Student Portal. We're going to choose Biographical from the list on the left, and here is our biographical setup. The biographical setup is actually an 8x3 grid that has 10 fields per cell, which gives you 240 different biographical fields that you can pull in to be displayed. And let me minimize this, and I actually have my parent portal open, and this is my example here. So we can see some of the grids here, the 3 grids across, and there are 2 different pages, and there's nothing much on the second page. So let's minimize this and go back to our MMS Generations and do some setup. The checkbox here is what is going to activate it in the parent and student portals. If this box was not checked, my parent would not be able to see this information at all. So in the setup area, we are limited to just 1 data field per line. We have the ability to add text and a field together, if you choose, to add a descriptor so the parents know what information they're looking at. And I am going to do some, you can see here I have the ID number, which is a student's ID number. We have their last name, their first name, middle initial, gender. If you have a mistake and you need to fix something, you only have the ability to clear the whole line. So rather than putting sex, I'm going to put gender, and I'm going to put a colon, and I can indicate how many spaces I want to have after the text. So I'm going to add 2 spaces after the text. So I'm going to add that, and now I am going to find the gender field, which is the field sex. So I have that selected, and I'm going to add that field. There it is afterwards. So I'm going to add something that comes from the contact table. Now the contact table is where you have your up to 9 different contacts per student. So I'm going to have parent last name. And I'm going to have a colon, and I'm going to keep 2 spaces afterwards. So I'm going to add that. Well, I have 16 characters available. So it will tell you how many characters are used and how many characters are available. So now I'm going to pick most of the data fields in the contact table start with the letter C. So I knew that. So I know C last is the contact's last name. And as soon as I select one of those, it's going to ask which contact I want to pull that information from. I actually renamed the first 4 of my contacts in my database. Rather than just having contact 1, contact 2, etc., I have my primary parent. I have an alternate parent, and I have 2 emergency contacts. This way the person who is doing data entry in my biographical editor will know which information to put on the different contact fields. So I do want to pull my primary parent information, and now I'm going to add that field. Oh, it's 20 characters, and I only have 16 left. So I'm going to clear this, and I'm going to have we're just going to change it to name. So that should leave enough. And I'm just going to put 1 space afterwards. I'm going to add text. So I have 22 characters, so this will now fit. And there we go. And so you just go through the different cells. Each cell can have 10 lines. And even if there was plenty of room to add more than 1 data field, it won't let you do that. So to set up the different areas, I can just set the different row and which column I want. And there are 3 columns for each row. And that's all there is to setting up the biographical data in the parent-student portal. We hope you found this Tech Byte informative.